What do you mean?
I
What's
wanna
wrong
see
with
soccer,
soccer?
bro? Yeah.
What? So you
What's
say
wrong with
soccer
soccer?
World Cup, soccer World Cup.
This
Anyway.
don't cut it out.
Cut it out. Okay. Anyway, the football World Cup's happening in Qatar. Are you for it, against it, or don't care at all?
This is a loaded question, bro.
Yeah.
Bro,
This is a loaded
some of the
question.
TikToks I've seen are wild, man.
What are they saying?
I'm talking like these white like Brits
Mhm.
after was it England and Saudi?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was
No.
Argentina and Saudi.
Yeah.
All right, wherever Brits love football,
Yeah.
soccer, and they were there, right? And I saw TikToks where they would go with some random like
Arab.
Arab
Yeah, I
back
saw
to their house, and they go to this like mini mansion with like lions and
Oh
tigers
yeah. I've
and
come
shit.
across this. Yeah. Which is
That's dope.
weird because like the perception of like Qataris you would have is like these people are not welcoming at all. But
Yeah.
then these guys bring him to the house,
Where is this
show him a good
perception
time.
coming
What?
from? I've never heard of this, bro.
Who?
The
Bro,
perception. Arabs are hospitable.
Hospital, but there's different type of Arabs. There's Arabs that we know over here, like Lebanese and
Like,
Syrians or whatever.
Saudis
How many
give a-
Saudis have you met in your life?
I was born in Saudi
No, you
Arabia.
weren't, bro. Because the image of like Qataris, Emirati, Saudis are like they're hard nosed, like don't care about the rest of the world type people.
Sure.
You don't know about this?
Nah, bro.
Okay.
Oh, bro.
Well, yeah.
The
What do you
more
feel
know.
about Qatar holding World
See,
Cup?
I am a global citizen. I'm not Indian. I'm not Pakistani. I'm not Vietnamese. I'm not Arab.
Mm-hmm.
You sure
I'm
about the
nothing.
Indian
I
one,
am.
bro?
Oh, come on, bro. I am a citizen of globe, and for me, I respect everything, every culture.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm in an Aboriginal land like we are right now,
Yeah.
I would. Okay,
Which
I don't want to get
Which
cancelled.
Aboriginal land are we on?
I don't like. So, anyways,
Good
I'm in Australia right now.
Yeah.
When in Australia, if I go to a wedding, I wouldn't do air firing. Like saying in Pakistan, we do firing in the
Shooting
air
shots
at
in
wedding.
the air, yeah.
Exactly. When we are in a land, we respect law of land.
Wow.
When we are in Qatar, we be respectful people that don't drink alcohol and find happiness in idiotic stuff like drinking and like all that kind of degenerate stuff.
Yeah.
When we're in a Muslim country, we be respectful people. When we're in a Western country, we drink, we lose respect for women, old people, we eat meat pies for $9, drink for $15 to $12.
Yeah.
And that's fine, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we should be malleable.
Do as the Romans do. So wherever
Exactly.
you are, just be.
I think it was much more funny in my mind than it
I
is
like
right
this,
now.
bro. I like this.
So,
Everything is funny in your mind when you say it. You're like, where am I going with this?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what about like Qatar being corrupt, paying people off, and
Bro,
like
that's-
getting the World Cup?
That's just how the world runs, bro. Honestly.
I agree with him mostly because when I talk to white people at work, and I'm like, I always segue in the thing where like they always talk about Qatar and they want to get my opinion. I said, do you know anyone that's actually personally that's in Qatar right now?
Yeah.
They always say no.
Well, obviously, yes.
They always say no. So
Yeah.
then I say like, it's not actually that bad.
I guarantee any high stakes thing that's being put up to a bid or whatever it is
Has corruption in it.
has corruption in it. It's the same way Andrew Tate says, right? If there's a game on the line, right?
Or money involved.
And there's like $5,000 for the winner,
Yeah.
right? The people are going to do whatever. They're going to cheat. They're going to elbow. They're going to do whatever they can in a basketball game to win the game and
Yeah.
win the money. The
Historic.
whole British Empire was built on corruption and
Yeah.
slavery.
Yeah.
US was built on corruption and
US to
slavery.
this day, like they buy elections and stuff. So
Bro,
part of the deal.
everywhere you turn is corrupt. I bribed a police officer in Indonesia so he wouldn't find me. Everywhere's corrupt.
You told us Thailand,
sorry,
bro.
Thailand,
You're doing multiple frauds
Thailand.
around the world, bro. Yeah. How much you pay him?
I think it was about $50, which
Yeah.
is pretty hefty for Thailand.
Every time I go Pakistan, I see one of my cousins
Yeah.
doing bribery, bro. Like
Look-
they always
look,
do
he
it.
told me if he
Yeah.
takes me to the station, it'll be $100.
Yeah.
And I haggled it down to $25.
Yeah.
But my only notes were up to $50, so I couldn't give him 25, and he wouldn't budge.
Just give him $1, bro. So this is worth much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
got me.
So you're saying bribery exists everywhere. It's part of it. So you don't really care about
Everywhere.
Qatar.
I think people aren't really complaining about bribery in particular.
Bro, that's the number
I
one
think
thing
it's
people are
not-
complaining
no,
about.
I think this is everything all amalgamating
Amalgamating.
Um,
Yeah.
into hatred for Qatar because Russia was corrupt.
No, Russia won it in a corrupt way as well. Yeah.
Like, what's the previous country?
Brazil,
Brazil? No, not Brazil. The one before.
South Africa.
Germany. They also paid a fair bit of money for like World Cup. It's
I know
mostly
about
UK
that, yeah.
fans that are against it because UK has a very good infrastructure for soccer.
Yeah.
They
And
can
they wanted the World
They
Cup for
wanted the World
themselves.
Cup. They haven't received it, which
Yeah.
is like they probably should soon. So now they just because every country that hosts World Cup loses money. 220 billion for Qatar. Brazil, since making their World Cup situation, was lost a fair bit of money, and Brazilians really didn't want to have a World Cup.
So what you're telling me is the English fans are just salty.
Pretty much, that's it,
Just
bro.
English media, bro.
English media, exactly.
English fans are like just rowdy people, as we say. But like, yeah, it's the more so the media.
This region,
You're saying Qatar is the easy target for them because they want to pick on
East, the
Arabs and Muslims in general.
everything is going against Qatar right now. Corruption, the slavery situation, not whatever slavery or exploitation,
Yeah.
and then Muslims. So everything's going against Qatar.
Yeah. Or what do you make of the fact that a lot of our people are the people who are slaves or exploited?
So this is where
in the
I'm like,
country?
one part of me is Muslim,
Yeah.
and that part of me is like, our boys wanted, happy for them.
Yeah.
Other part of me is also Pakistani or a third world person,
Yeah.
and that obviously hates the whole, the whole concept that's happening
Yeah.
in Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Bahrain.
But the thing is, like, this has been happening for decades now, like 30, 40 years. It's good that the light is being shown on these things, but you could have done this, like, if you wanted to bring this uproar, you could have done it like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But now it's sort of come about because it makes sense because FIFA World Cup is like the biggest sporting event. So there's more attention on it. But there's more reform happening now because the pressure of the world is on them. They can't mess it up now, Qatar.
Nah, but media's cyclical, bro. Like
They'll forget about it.
in a month or two, they're gonna completely forget about anything about this.
Yeah.
No one's gonna be talking about it. It's gonna be back to square one.
Yeah.
And it's just been headlines for a couple months.
That's the issue, like, cause like most of these, like, say, like the complaint against Qatar at the moment, like, you've built all these stadiums, cost in the billions, and the companies that made them, their revenue is in the billions, trillions, because it's oil money that's been put into it. So the state sponsored it. So if you have that much money, can't you pay these people a little bit more and compensate somewhere else? Like, that's where the exploitation comes in. Like, they could be earning a lot more money and the working conditions could be a lot safer for them. Firstly, you're working like 50
they care
degrees.
about it,
more.
honestly.
They don't. Like,
Isn't this like a huge issue in a lot of countries? Like the disparity between the rich and the poor. Like India is a good example where you have people.
yeah, but the thing is, like,
living in
no
tents
one
and
would say anything
slums.
about India is because it's Indian people doing it against Indian people. So it's like more of an internal
Oh, you're saying
issue.
because it's Qataris against the foreign nationals.
Yeah, it becomes more of an issue if you're getting someone from another country to come work for you.
Yeah, which is
Because
mainly
Pakistan, same thing happens, I'm pretty sure.
Which is mainly around the Arab countries. I don't think there's really any other countries that do that kind. I mean,
Not
US,
any, not in
Mexican.
present,
you could argue like US.
Yes, that
They
is
get
true.
Mexicans on the, like,
Even-
coming across the border, give
Even
them jobs.
Australia, bro, like in the fast food industry, you'll see a lot of Nepalese working cash in hand for the smaller businesses and stuff.
Like students that come, they're only
Yeah,
allowed to work limited
yeah.
hours and
Why
stuff
did you
like
look at me, bro?
you look
Bro, you're a global
Bro, the
citizen.
amount of times I'm just driving past like a delivery guy on a bike or something, and they look like him so much. I'm like,
That's not nice, bro. That one's
Yeah.
not nice.
So I saw you in your computer right now doing some research.
Yeah, bro.
what did you want to talk
And a
about?
lot of people in Qatar are complaining right now about the colors, rainbows,
Yeah,
rainbow
bro.
situation.
Yeah.
Like
LGBTQ.
LGBTQ.
Yeah.
IABC.
I agree with what you said at the start, bro.
I said nothing, bro.
If you come
Uh-huh.
to another country, you have to respect their laws.
Mm-hmm.
You have to respect their morals, which are unchanging for good reason. You have to you have to respect the way that they do whatever they do in their country, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't go to Australia or I don't go to America and walk barefoot around the house. That's inhumane, right?
Anyways.
Nah, I do wear barefoot in Australia, bro.
Anyway, my
Yeah.
point is, the world kicking up a stink about, and I have no problem with gay people. I have no problem with transgender or whatever.
It's
it may
mostly
be.
gay people we're talking about now.
LGBTQ plus alphabet. I have no problem with them, right? But I think it's so hypocritical for the West to call out Qatar for banning gay people entering stadiums. Oh, I'm not. Even
They're
gay
not.
people,
They're not
sorry.
banning gay people entering
I
the
think
stadium.
they've
Banning
said
pride or gay pride or whatever.
pride
Rainbow
Yeah,
colours.
don't
And-
symbolize and like use symbols
and
to
public
come.
display of affection.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you're gay and you just do whatever you do in your
Yeah.
room, bro, no one's gonna know. But why do you have to make a point out of it?
Yeah. When
This is a question. Do you tell me?
And the global population of gay people or people that are attracted to the same sex is 1%.
Where are you
Oh,
getting
sorry,
these numbers from,
they're
bro?
They're 5%, right?
5% of
5% of the whole world.
global population. Yeah.
There's
That's a
8 billion people now. That's a lot of
Based,
people,
based
bro.
on 27 countries, right?
27. That's a small sample size, bro. I wouldn't trust those figures.
No, but the sample size is also more of the Western countries too. So,
So
it'll probably be smaller
like
than that, right? Because the prevalence of it in Arab countries, at least reportedly, is lower, right? So
Bro, who would want to report in an Arab country if
that's what
they
I'm
were?
saying. So it's less than 5%
Yeah,
globally, right?
yeah.
The percentage of people who identify other than male or female is 1%, right? Again,
what does that
globally.
mean? So can you simplify it? Like 99% people identify male or female.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
As a gender,
So
yeah.
Not other genders or
Yeah.
whatever.
Binary
right? Yeah.
nonsense. Nah, can you cut that
Furry,
out?
etc., etc.
Sure,
right?
sure.
So people are kicking up a stink over such a small percentage of population relative to things like what's happening in France, where they're banning modesty essentially, where they've proposed to ban the hijab
Mm-hmm.
for women under 18.
Mhm.
They've banned burkinis, which I have no idea why they would do that, on beaches, for people to use in beaches. They're banning hijabs in sports or amongst
I think
athletes.
like I agree with your examples,
Yeah.
but like most of our viewers probably can't even relate to this France situation. I don't know what our viewer demographic is, but I'll give you a very simple example. I'm 18, I can drink alcohol in Australia.
Yeah.
If I go USA, I definitely cannot drink alcohol in USA.
Yeah.
If you were 18, yeah.
If I were 18.
Because you have to be
Yeah.
21
Yeah.
to be able to do it.
So what's the rationale right now? We have one country.
Well, I think they're not talking about like they're not talking about like one thing is like they're saying don't do symbolism, this, that, the other makes sense.
Mhm.
But then in Qatar, they do discriminate against gay people. Like they might not be able to get jobs in Qatar because they're gay, or they might not be able to openly express the fact that they're gay. What you do outside is up to like the
See,
public to
that's the
decide.
problem with society, agreed.
Yeah.
How can the US and the English and whoever it is complain about this when in their own lands they're discriminating against black people?
That is true.
No, but that's where the hypocrisy comes in. But like what I think as a rational person you would say is like, okay, this is wrong, what's happening in America, but at the same time, what's happening in Qatar is wrong as
And
well.
that's a fair opinion to
Yeah.
have.
So,
Yeah.
but like these hypocrites who are saying it, that's what they don't get. Like just because you're saying, or just because it doesn't happen in our country and it happens in your country, doesn't mean either one of you is right. There's messed up stuff happening in your country, which
Yeah.
you should probably fix,
Yeah.
and there's messed up stuff happening in Qatar.
If you had to,
That they have to
so
fix.
this is a question for both of you
Yeah.
guys. If you had to align with left or right, which one would you align?
Do you know what these things mean? First of all,
I'm going to talk about US side rather than Australian because that's the other way around.
yeah.
And I drive right-handed.
I actually
I don't know what you're talking about.
So,
Firstly,
like, are you left-leaning in terms of your political opinions or right-leaning?
or like I don't like to be honest. I
First-
don't get the left right.
Bro, one thing, and slightly off tangent, one thing I hate about Americans is that Democrats and Republicans, they'll back whatever their respective party says, no matter what,
Yeah.
right?
Even
They-
if they personally might never agree with
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
There's so little moderates
Yeah.
in the US. Everyone is either Democrat or Republican, and they stand them hard, bro.
Yeah.
Like they'll
That's
back
why I would never
anything.
want to claim like, oh, I'm more left leaning or right leaning, because
Yeah.
then you get boxed into like everyone would just think you think everything like this. Then
Yeah.
that's why I'd never want to come out and say, oh yeah, I'm more left leaning or whatever. There's certain issues like I'm more conservative about, and there's certain things I'm more liberal about or whatever. But if I categorize myself, then everyone will just box me into the one thing,
I'm with
and I would
Bobby
never
Boy.
want to do that.
I'm with Bobby
Yeah.
Boy.
The more you listen to right people,
You more agree with that?
in hindsight, bro, because I've gone through a lot of phases where I've been pretty left-leaning. I say everyone should do whatever they want to do.
Yeah,
And I've had debates with this brother.
yeah,
And the more I've talked to him, the more I realize like moderate to right-leaning is a bit better. At least personally, like you don't
Yeah.
have to like vote or whatever, but you should stand for what you believe. And I think Qatar has done good stuff. They didn't ban alcohol until people already.
that was kind of messed up.
people were already in Qatar.
A day
So-
before, bro. They were
Oh,
like,
right, because they agreed with FIFA they weren't going to ban alcohol.
bro, the main
right?
sponsor is Budweiser, bro. What the
Yeah, bro.
So in hindsight, like you do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Just say yes.
Yeah.
And this is what I've realized is the best way.
No, but
forward.
this 11th hour decision to just be like, nah, we actually change our mind. Like,
I'm
that
pretty
was
sure
kinda weird.
Budweiser and FIFA would know this. Because last minute, imagine like.
Why would they do it last minute though?
The thing is, they didn't want to get public outcry prior. Think about
No, but
it.
if they had this done it 5 years ago, like, oh, actually in the stadiums we're not gonna, the public would have forgotten about it
No,
by
but
now.
thing is, bro, imagine Budweiser, they bought so much alcohol barrels in middle of deserts or whatever,
Yeah.
set it up, prop it up, and now last minute,
You know what happened, bro?
No.
So they set up all those
barrels or
barrels
kegs or,
of
yeah.
kegs of beer and alcohol,
Wouldn't
right?
know what they are, but
And then they banned it in Qatar, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't allow alcohol. Guess what the kings are getting, bro?
That
bro.
Budweiser.
Real talk.
Budweiser shit, bro.
No, but like in
Heard.
Qatar and most of these countries, if you want alcohol, there's dedicated places where
I
you
mean,
can get
when,
it.
when I referred to the TikTok earlier, they were saying like these like Qataris actually had drinks and stuff.
Yeah, bro, like you can get them anywhere. When I went Dubai, like literally, like you walk in any street, you can get alcohol. It's
Yeah.
not that difficult to get it.
Yeah.
But like, do you think Qatar being the first Muslim country to hold a World Cup is right, or would
I think they set a bad precedent.
no? What country would you have
I would have
wanted
done
to?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Why?
Because Saudi Arabia has got more people, so they would have a lot of more local
Do
population.
you think that's the best Muslim country to hold a World Cup?
I don't see any other successful Muslim countries, bro.
I gotta
It-
agree.
maybe
I
Turkey.
think Saudi would do wild shit. Like I think they'd like take it up a notch. You know,
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
they'll go more extreme.
Not-
They'll be like,
no, not necessarily.
wear a burqa to the stadium, that kind of stuff.
Not necessarily with that sort
Yeah.
of stuff. But I mean in terms of infrastructure and shit and like opening ceremony and stuff, like
They
pump
have more
money.
money for sure,
They
bro.
would
But they're
do
not
something
creative,
nice.
bro. Like,
what do you mean? Aren't they creating like that
they are
vertical
creative,
city
bro.
or some
They-
shit?
Bro, they haven't created anything
Bro, they
yet.
created 2 goals, bro. Come
What?
on.
They-
What goals? 2
Did
goals.
you not watch the game?
against
Oh, a nice one, bro. Against Messi of all people. Yeah. That's your fault, bro, for supporting
My
me.
bad.
No, but like the Dubai has cool things. Qatar, to an extent, has cool things. What have you seen Saudi Arabia create where
It's
you're
a
like,
land
wow,
of pure,
Bro,
Like,
What?
exactly.
It's a land of pure, bro. Like
Pure?
They have 2.
bro? They're not creative people. I don't think Saudi
Bro, they
Arabia.
scored 2 goals, man. Don't do this to me. Creative, score
Yeah.
a penalty, lose. That is creativity, dude.
Yeah.
Mm.
Creativity is losing. How
Bro.
many World Cups? They haven't won a World Cup since 1978, I think,
Oh,
or
who?
82.
Argentina.
Yeah,
86.
86.
Yeah.
That is creativity for you. Even then, they have to cheat, bro. Power of Allah.
Hand of God.
Unmatched. Bro, did you see the Saudi fans, man?
Well, they're insane
They were
people. They're like,
insane,
where's
bro.
Messi? They're hilarious, bro.
Where's Messi?
The way they're dancing and stuff, like
And I
you hear like pundits like Gary Neville and stuff like that. You've seen what Gary
they're
Neville
in
said.
Qatar.
You know, Gary pundits are like the
This is
analysts or
analyst kind of
Oh,
thing.
okay,
Yeah.
like basketball has
What have
like
they said
Charles
exactly?
Barkley of
What have they said about Qatar? Because they're in Qatar right now.
yeah, Gary Neville, like when they were awarded the World Cup Qatar, since then he was like, oh, this shouldn't be happening, blah 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 blah. 4 years ago he did, or 2 years ago he did a documentary, went to Qatar. Oh, we're gonna highlight all these issues. I am not sure if I want to go to Qatar, this, that, the other, blah blah blah. How were they awarded it? There's corruption. Then now he's working for a Qatari-based media company, BN,
Ian, yeah.
and getting
Nice.
paid lots of money. And then when people ask like, isn't this like hypocritical of you that you said all these things, now you're there? He's like, I think me being here, I'll be able to highlight the issues a lot more.
Bro, like people that speak the most get humbled the most. Did you see Germany before the game? They covered the game.
They didn't speak at all, bro.
They
Cover the mouth.
covered
Yeah.
the mouth. Bro,
Yeah.
Japanese put them through Nagasaki. Have you seen Captain Sabusa?
Subasa,
Tsubasa.
yeah.
Germany lost to Japan in the anime, bro. They did the same thing.
Yeah.
Show it through your words, bro. Like, win the World Cup in Qatar and then say, I don't care about it, throw the trophy away. That's the
Yeah.
bigger symbol. What is putting your hand on your mouth does?
One of your favorite footballers was part of that as well.
He was, bro.
Is he still your favorite
Bro,
footballer?
I saw him being retired. Did you
On
see
the field?
on the field? And he won the hard pack.
Yeah. What do you make of the fact that the West is like selective in their criticism as well? When like say if someone brought up the issue of like Mesut Ozil, he brought up the issue of like
Chinese.
Chinese Uyghur Muslim,
Yeah.
and then I think his contract was like cancelled for that reason.
It wasn't cancelled, but he got into a lot of problems
Yeah.
with that. Like they said to apologize and
Mesut Ozil is this German footballer, but of Turkish background. Yeah. So
Bro,
he
it's the same shit everywhere, man. With LeBron speaking out against China, he didn't want to speak out. He'll speak out about all the black discrimination and stuff that goes on. As soon as China and Uyghurs come into the picture, he's silent.
Like
What
all
was the
less
Rockets GM or coach or
Daryl Morey.
yeah, he
Yeah.
spoke out against Hong Kong. What was happening in Hong Kong again? Nothing.
See, the Chinese people right now, everyone hates them.
Yeah.
So it's cool to hate against Chinese right
No,
now.
but even then, like
But what about Israel? Like no one says, like everyone that says free Palestine, no one.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
a conversation.
Yeah.
Because everyone hates China. It's easy to just.
Like people at least say it.
yeah.
Yeah, they can openly say it about,
To-
but like
To be honest, I think among like your average population is, or maybe not average, but like there are people that are aware that the US spends like billions or maybe trillions in Israel for weapons or whatever it might be. So there's a bit of awareness around that. Just nothing really gets done, and it doesn't get.
Like
guess-
England was playing in 2006 World Cup. Then they went Iran or Iraq. Iraq, I think it was Iraq. They did a military
or like
intervention.
earlier.
Yeah.
USA was part of that World Cup
So
as well.
no one mentioned to English media about this whole exercise in Iran, Iraq, Middle East, and that was happening actively. Right now, Iran has got a political instability.
So you
and
can say
people-
the same about Russia. Like Russia's invaded Ukraine, and then the whole Western media was like, "Oh, they can't qualify." Like their team was taken out of the qualification.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, they weren't able to play that game to qualify. And then
Bro,
they were just saying put Ukraine in.
No, but exactly,
as like
bro,
a sympathy
Ukraine.
thing.
And that was instigated by the US.
Wasn't?
Yes, because they came on the NATO was coming onto the border of Russia through Ukraine,
Yeah.
and and then Russia already told them like don't do this. Like we don't want American forces on our border. Of course, if you throw American forces on your border, Russia are going to retaliate. It would be the same thing if Russia put their forces on the Mexican border between US and Mexico.
Yeah.
US would 100% retaliate, and that's what's happened.
And Ukraine stands with Israel right now. Like they stand in solidarity with Israel. So like people pick what they want to see, and people like are
Ignore.
ignore.
They're selective with their
Like Ukraine
yeah.
was a failed state prior to this whole situation. It was corrupt as hell, and they were harboring Nazis within the country. As much as we may say, like, Russia is
messed up.
messed up, and which it is, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. But like people selectively say, like, because they hate Russia, they hate China.
And-
No, like if you like look at Germany, for example, or like any European country, when the Syrian like refugee crisis was happening, remember how much like hatred there was, like, oh no,
Yeah.
they'll come into our country, mess up our thing, and they were pushing boats back.
Yeah.
But like now that the Ukrainians are coming in, no one has any issues with it. They're like openly accepting them. There's no even like questioning about like if these bad actors come to our country, will they mess up our country? So
they're white, brother.
well, that's one
So
thing.
Argentina,
What about Argentina?
they how racist were they? They said when they officially kill all the indigenous and black people, a guy recently in 2000 said, "President, we have eradicated a problem. It's a Brazil problem to have black people."
Holy crap.
Argentina's president said this?
President said this, or someone.
Bro, why have I never heard of this?
Yeah.
Because I read a lot of Reddit stuff, so this
In
was
2006?
in 2000s.
Okay.
Don't quote
Somewhere
me.
in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And they said like we've eradicated the problem of black people. They have no indigenous population. Majority of Argentine, significant people of Argentine can attribute their ancestry to Germany.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's why they're fairer
it's-
skinned. Yeah.
It's Italy too a bit.
Yeah.
and This is Hispanic, but they do have a fair bit of German representation in.
Yeah.
No one brings this up.
Yeah.
It's not a question at all. Like everyone hates Brazil right now because of used to for Bolsonaro, which is fair.
Yeah.
But all Western countries have been messed up for a while, and I guess there's no point complaining because we can't shit, bro.
Yeah. So when you see like political messages being sent in sports, are you like turned off by that? Are you like, why are you doing this?
No, I think sport and politics is together. You can't take it out.
Yeah.
Like if people want to wear their gay symbols or whatever pride colors are.
Yeah.
I think you should not repress them.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Because if it would be hypocritical of us if we say like, I want to stand with Palestine.
And wear a Palestinian thing,
Yeah,
and
if
then
you were to ban everything.
Yeah.
But if you know, like for me, I want that to be shown. I'm happy for this to be shown as much.
yeah,
as I
because
disagree.
sports is way too powerful. Like politics will become involved in it. Like so many people's attention comes to sports that you can't take it out.
I feel that it's a bad thing that so much politics gets involved in sports, though. Because the other thing is, like, and you see it with Kyrie Irving and stuff in the NBA, where absolute retards have a huge influence
On people, yeah.
on people
What does
because
that
they're a
mean?
sports player.
Like, what do they do?
Kyrie Irving is a flat earther, anti-vax, whatever you name it. He's anti-Semitic now.
Nice.
He's a whole slew of things, bro. Like that guy is straight up.
Apparently he's Muslim as well, bro.
Oh,
Now.
yeah, he's
Is
Muslim
he-
too.
Muslim and somehow not not North American, Native American as well. But he's
Yeah.
black.
Apparently
So he
he's-
claims everything. He says, I'm part of the native people.
and he was born in Australia.
born in Australia. So born in Melbourne, in fact. So like this guy's like,
Actually, or
yeah, not joking at all. So he got banned because he posted a story on an Instagram about a movie or a documentary that depicts anti-Semitism. And he didn't say anything. I don't know if he said anything about it, but then they were like, oh, is he anti-Semitic? You know, blah, blah, blah. But he like kind of like likes the attention I think he gets out of it. He's like Kanye West.
So is he permanently
Respect.
banned now, or is he?
Nah, he's come back now. He apologized or what. Anyway, we're enjoying the World Cup. Who are your picks to win it?
Japan and Saudi Arabia. Japan because of the anime plot armor.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia because of Allah's blessing.
So you want them in the final.
I think they will come into the final.
Can you name one player on both teams? Just say any Arab name, any Asian name.
Japan, I know. Kubo.
Kubo,
Saudi Arabia, Al-Shabaab.
Al-Shabaab. I'm pretty sure that's a name. That's a
I'm
soccer
pretty
team, bro. Al-Shabaab.
Kudus.
No.
Kudus.
Al-Shabaab.
Al-Sharawi.
Al-Shabaab.
Al-Sharawi, I'm
No,
pretty
that's
sure is one of them.
He's Italian, bro.
Who?
Al-Sharawi is Italian, Egyptian.
Bro, don't lie to
Okay.
me. He's Italian.
But your realistic expectation is the Japan-Saudi Arabia final.
Inshallah.
And what about you?
I guess Argentina.
Argentina and
The Spain, bro.
Nah, Qatar, bro.
Qatar and Argentina.
What about you?
Ideally, a Portugal-Argentina final will be amazing.
I want Portugal to win in hindsight, so all Ronaldo haters get some kind of repercussion because everyone hates him right now.
Yeah. But yeah, that will be my ideal final, and hopefully
Portugal,
an Argentina final.
bro, that's not happening.
No, I would want that to happen.
Okay.
But realistically, Saudi Arabia, Japan, bro.
Nice one.
Anyway,
Call it
let me
a day.
do the outro, bro.
Bro,
Anyway,
no one's gonna listen this far in.
no, but I still have to do an outro, bro.
Bro, he's a commendable guy. Like
Yeah.
he does his job
Yeah.
diligently.
Anyway, we are enjoying the Qatar World Cup. Inshallah, one Muslim country will win at least. This has been another episode of Trash Talk Experience. We don't give into the politics, as you can tell.
Of course.
We just
Actually-
enjoy it.
I actually heard that the winner has to convert to Islam to receive the trophy.
No one's gonna win that. Well, no European country is gonna win it then.
Let's say if you would, if they knew if they converted Islam, they would win World Cup. Do you reckon most teams would? I think
Do you
most.
think Neymar would do it?
I think Brazil may not because they're very religious Christians.
Yeah.
But I think most other countries may, bro.
Do you think Messi would renounce his Christianity, become Muslim, just to win a World Cup, so he can
I
prove
think
to everyone he's the
desperate,
GOAT?
bro. I think Ronaldo would.
What?
Ronaldo would.
Ronaldo's Muslim anyway, bro. Haven't you seen him say Inshallah, Mashallah? And every time he posts a video, he posted one where he just says Inshallah. Everyone's
Bro,
like,
I love
bro, he's
I-
Muslim now.
I love when non-Muslims say Inshallah, Mashallah. I had a Korean colleague, and one day he just starts saying it to me. I'm like, where did this come from? I love it, man.
Do you
I think
explain
we
to them
Muslim
what it
people
means?
have a fetish with people converting to Islam, bro.
Yeah, we want everyone to
Everyone
do it,
to
bro. Yeah,
be Muslim.
because we every any famous person, if they show like an inclination of like saying anything Arabic or say eating any Arabic food, will make them Muslim, bro. Yeah.
So I think I sent you guys a photo of Drogba last month.
Oh, bro, everyone
Yeah.
on Twitter thought it was.
Oh yeah. I
So
think
that's
I
fair.
remember.
But this guy Kaka, he went Qatar ironically in 2008 as ambassador.
Everyone thought he
But-
converted.
People thought he converted to Islam. Because why else would he go Qatar?
Yeah.
Even
Bro,
Doha.
it's so funny as well because all these Muslims comment like "Mashallah, oh, happy for you."
And
Like,
if they don't, then may Allah show you light and then
Yeah.
happy
Like
for you.
now, Saudi Arabia won one game against Argentina. All these Muslim countries have forgotten about all their hatred for Saudi
So
Arabia.
exactly,
Now
bro.
Pakistanis are like, oh, Saudi brothers, this, that,
So
the other have won something.
My colleague before the World Cup started, like, what's your take on Saudi Arabia? I was like, I don't like them. I gave him a brief summary of Salafi and like
Wahhabism.
they're extremist
Yeah.
people, not a fan.
Yeah.
Slave labor.
They scored two
But then as
goals.
soon as they scored the goals, my colleague, she is Jordanian.
Yeah.
I was like, congratulations.
Yeah.
She was like, I love. She's not even like Saudi Arabian. She was happy. I was very happy.
Yeah.
And we had the whole bonding situation based on Saudi Arabia winning the World Cup. So.
Yeah. Anyway, the question still remains: where's Messi, bro? Where's Messi in
Where
all
is
this?
Messi?
Anyway, this will be another episode of Trash Talk Experience. You can watch this on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.